I call this meeting to order at 7:30 p.m. We will now move into Section 2 roll call.
When I call your name, please say present. Senator Luna,
Present.
Senator Parker,
Present.
Senator Fan,
Present.
Senator Otten,
Present.
Senator Beam,
Present.
Senator Tiwana,
Present.
Senator Souls,
Present.
Senator Lee,
Present.
Senator Peng,
Present.
Senator Argumedo,
Present.
Senator Hinojosa,
Present.
Senator Thibodeau,
Present.
Senator Mallard,
Present.
Senator Brown,
Present.
Senator Casirosafar,
Present.
Senator Miller,
Present.
Senator McCarroll,
Present.
Senator Hansen,
Present.
Senator Timms,
Present.
Senator Beatty,
Present.
Senator Arteaga,
Present.
Senator Boyd,
Present.
Senator Haynes,
Present.
Senator Mongaravani,
Present.
Senator Marston,
Present.
Senator Hatch,
Present.
Senator Lewis.
Present.
Is there anyone that I missed? Okay, our total present today is 27, simple majority of 13.5, and 2/3 majority of 18.
Thank you. We will now move into Section 4, messages from the student body president. There is none. We'll now move into Section 5, messages from the Finance Commission. There is none. We will now move into Section 6, 3-minute floor speeches. In lieu of senators using public forum as a mechanism to address the Senate, any senator may seek recognition to give a speech on a subject of their choice, not exceeding 3 minutes in duration. 3-minute speeches are focused on specific topics. Senators may only hold the floor once during this period. Are there any senators that wish to speak at this time? Seeing none, we'll now move into Section 7, Public Forum. Public forum provides a chance for individuals to have the privilege of speaking before the Senate limited to 3 minutes only. This is a time for the Senate to listen to what the community has to say, and to that we offer our undivided respect and attention. I would like to remind everyone that, although we allow the speakers the privilege to use this platform, the opinions of the speakers do not reflect the opinions of the association. Are there any individuals who wish to speak in public forum at this time? Seeing none, we'll now move into Section 8, introductions and reports, and we'll go to 8.1, report from the executive branch.
Hello, everyone. Our Chief of Staff is unfortunately feeling very ill today, so I will be giving the report. But from Student Body President Wong, Higher Education Day is scheduled to take place on Wednesday, February 4th, 2026. And on Thursday, November 13th, President Wong will attend a Kansas Board of Regents focus group alongside Leslie Hernandez, Lily Ahrens, Jaden Island, Ramat Safdar, Anushka Raju, Holly Zhang, and Fabian Garcia Alvarez. President Wong will also meet with Lindsay Pletcher, Executive Director of Budget, to review updated student fee numbers. I am currently working on an emergency resource guide for food security on campus, as well as preparing for the Freshman Leadership Council meeting tomorrow and an upcoming meeting scheduled with Dean Jenin from the Barton School of Business on Monday, November 10th, to discuss the collaboration between us and the Dean. Student Body Treasurer Bum. There was no Finance Commission last week, as there was no Finance Commission report this week. This week, the Commission will meet with 3 student organizations and 2 individual applicants, one which falls under spring funding. He is also drafting legislation aimed at bringing back both student fee groups to enhance fiscal transparency and engagement. Director of Legislative Affairs and Policy, Ahrens, continues to work collaboratively with Speaker Fawn on the Legislative Branch newsletter report. Director of Media Relations Zhang recently completed event planning training with Morshed Khan. She is currently coordinating introductions and headshots for the remainder of the missing ones that she is missing. Additionally, she has updated the newsletter and uploaded Interfest and Tailgate event photos to the shared drive for documentation and publicity purposes. Director of Community Engagement and Outreach, Garcia Alvarez, is in the process of planning events for next semester. Director of Health and Wellness, Raju, is organizing Social Safety Week, which will all take place next week. The events next week include on Monday, November 10th from 11 to 1, Sip Safely, Alcohol Awareness. Tuesday, November 11th from 11 to 1. Also, in the RSC first floor is to treat yourself, which is a get vaccinated. Wednesday, November 12th from 1 to 3 is about sexual health and wellness. Thursday, November 13th from 11 to 1 is substance use awareness. She has also met with Alicia Newell from the CARE team to discuss ongoing collaboration for wellness initiatives. Director of Student Organizations, Morshed Khan, will be hosting an event planning training on November 17th to support RSOs and improving their event management skills. He is also coordinating RSO Week, which is scheduled for February 16th through the 20th, and is also reaching out to GoCreate to explore additional opportunities for student organization engagement and partnerships. Director of International Student Affairs, Safdar, hosted Interfest today, which successfully concluded with 8 participating RSOs. He extends his gratitude to everyone who helped make the event successful. He is also currently planning a leadership training session for international RSOs in partnership with the Kansas Leadership Center, with the date to be finalized soon. And in addition, Director Safdar is organizing a tax filing workshop for international students with potentially the support from the United Way of the Plains. Director of Athletic Engagement Murphy reported that the recent athletics tailgate event was very successful. It was our first one, and we calculated over 200 attendees. He is now focusing on developing and submitting new resolutions related to athletic engagement and student experience. Director of Food Insecurity and Sustainability, Taylor, invites you to the Community Garden Showcase, which is taking place tomorrow morning. Director of Professional Opportunities, Guthrie, is in the process of confirming a date and location for an upcoming professional development event. He has also finalized the structure of the event and is organizing an email outreach template to invite participants and partners. Lastly, undergraduate Student Advocate Island reported between 4 to 8 active cases at this time. Recent concerns include 2 parking appeals, 3 academic appeals, 1 harassment concern, 1 financial concern, and 1 academic probation case. They are also preparing for an appeals hearing on November 11th and recently attended the Accessibility Disability Pride Task Force meeting. Finally, we have been approached by Campus Recreation Leadership about funding support to replace their dividers on the 2nd floor of the gym. We have reviewed that proposal and will be forwarding the request to the Senate formally this week to allow the Senate to weigh in on this proposal and to either approve or deny the funds. Leadership will attend Student Services next week to talk more about this, and the bill will be submitted for a presentation and vote on November 19th. For this one specifically, we will be holding off questions on this topic until formal submission. However, does anyone have any other questions for any of the things that was in my report?
Are there any questions for Vice President Nguyen? Seeing none, thank you. We will now move into 8.2, report from the Speaker of the Senate. So good evening, everyone. I hope your week has gone well so far. For me, I have a pretty brief update for you all. So thank you to everyone that went to the SGA tailgate. I appreciate all of you attending that event. It was a mandatory event, so I will be checking the attendance at the event. So if you forgot to check in at the SGA table, or you were absent from the event, please reach out to me to let me know, and we can have that conversation. For upcoming events, as Vice President Nguyen mentioned, the SGA Community Garden Showcase is tomorrow. So you all should have received a calendar invite for that event. That is an optional event for senators to go to, but at the showcase, we do need more volunteers. So you can find the link to sign up through the calendar invites that I sent out. Next week, as Vice President Nguyen mentioned, is SGA Wellness Week. So for Wellness Week, I am making attendance at some of the events mandatory. So I'm requiring that senators have to go to a minimum of 2 events for at least 30 minutes in duration. For Wellness Week, I will be sending out a memo tonight with more details about the requirements, how to submit excuse forms for that event, in addition to what I need from you all at those events. We will need some help volunteering at some events. So if you cannot make it to 2 of those events, I am allowing for you to volunteer at one event, and that will count for your mandatory attendance for next week as well. So this is a really great opportunity for you all to get to meet different students across campus as well, in addition to supporting the executive branch and the different events that they have as well. For some of the other updates that I have, I'm currently working with Director Softar for outreach to United Way for different events that he is planning for his events. In addition, for legislation, Senate leadership will be working on legislation implementing Senate resolutions into our SGA bylaws for this week's Legislative Affairs meeting. Additionally, for next week's agenda, I anticipate a much heavier agenda compared to this week. So when I send out the packets, please be sure to read over the legislation that we'll be reviewing for our first read, in addition to some legislation that may have a first and final read as well. As a reminder, for all of our Senate and meetings, and in addition to committee of the whole and committee meetings, I expect all of you to be on time and to be timely. When we have Senate committees, I ask that you please be at those meetings on time at 6:30. So if you are late, we will start counting you as absent. Right now, how Senate leadership has been keeping track of it is if you are more than 5 minutes late to Senate committees, we have been counting you as an unexcused absence, unless I gave my approval beforehand for missing or being late to meetings, or if you have worked something out with your chairperson as well. So please be timely to your committee meetings and Senate overall as well. Additionally, for Senate, as a friendly reminder, please remember that our attire is business casual. Starting next week at our meeting, if you're not dressed in business casual attire, I will have the clerk count you as unexcused. So for this week, we're not counting you as unexcused, but please, for any of our future meetings moving forwards, dress in business casual attire at minimum. If you have any questions on what that looks like, you're more than welcome to reach out to any of your chairpersons, to me, or to any of the advisors as well. For tonight's agenda, it's a pretty light agenda. So for today, we will be approving the September 24th, October 1st, and October 8th Senate meeting minutes. I realized during committee of the whole that I did not upload the legislative packet into the Teams, so you should be able to see the meeting minutes there now. But in addition to that, we do not have any legislation for a first or second read, but next week be prepared to see at least 4 to 6 pieces of legislation up for a first read on our agenda. But that is the updates I have for you all this week. I will stand for any questions that you all may have. Are there any questions? Okay, seeing none, we'll now move into 8.3, report from the Senate chairpersons, and we'll go to the report from the Academic Affairs chairperson, Kasir Safar.
Good evening, everyone. The Academic Affairs Committee has completed the plus or minus grading system survey and is currently waiting on a few final permission before sharing it with students. Once approved, we plan to distribute it through SGA, social media, the SGA website, and tabling events to reach as many students as possible. This survey will help us gather feedbacks directly from students before committee discussions move forward. Our committee also continuing to review several ongoing academic concerns and potential area for future legislations. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Chairperson Kasir so far? Seeing none, thank you. We will now hear the report from Diversity, Empowerment, Inclusion Chairperson Peng.
Hi everyone, excuse my voice, it's been really sore lately, so this will will try to make this short. I first wanted to give a shout out to Director Safar and the exec branch for putting on Interfest today. It was a big success from what I saw. In committee today, we had Spectrum President Genesis Merritt speak about the university's gender-neutral bathroom policies. I have asked the senators to conduct further research on this and to bring their findings to committee next week. For agencies, I had attended the ASC Cabinet meeting this past Sunday and their general meeting today where they had discussed Asian pop culture. For Halo, they had tabled today at Interfest for their last fundraising initiative for the semester, and Spectrum has its general meeting tomorrow in the RSC at 7 p.m. Students can learn more about navigating gender identity on campus, and they are still looking for volunteers to help with tabling. So if you are interested, please let me know and I can get you into contact with their exec branch, but that is all for me.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Chairperson Peng? Seeing none, thank you. We will now go to the report from Government Oversight Chairperson Tawana.
Good evening, everyone. I'll keep it short. This week, I've had my one-on-ones with all the new senators as well as the pro temp onboarding with pro temp Senator Orton. Other than that, Shockers Vote had their election day block party in RSC yesterday. More than 100 people showed up to that one. I also had my one-on-one with the president. They don't have any major events lined up, but they do have their next general meeting on Monday, and they're going on a conference next week in Washington, D.C. as well. Other than that, as a committee, we approved with unanimous consent the SP-68-116 Active Institute bylaws for the community garden. And other than that, we have finalized the draft for pro temp language addition to the STA bylaws. So we'll be submitting that for legislation for first reading next week. And that's pretty much it from my end for this week.
Are there any questions for Chairperson Tawana? Seeing none, thank you. We will now go to the report from Student Services Chairperson Hansen.
Hi, everyone. The Dining Services Director, J.B. Krasinger, attended our committee meeting today. She gave us a brief presentation regarding initiative, events, and student concerns they have received. This meeting was very productive, and our committee is greatly looking forward to working with Dining Services in order to enhance campus communication and publicity. I also attended the Accessibility and Disability Pride Task Force meeting this past Thursday, which was productive as well. Other than that, my committee members are still hard at work on their initiatives, and I will be continuing to meet with them monthly.
Are there any questions for Chairperson Hansen? Seeing none, thank you. We will now go to the report from the Central Office.
Good evening, everyone. Just a couple of things. Things with the Shocker Sport Locker are going well. At the request of the president, the vice president, the locker staff has purchased more food for the locker for the next couple of weeks to kind of address some of the issues relating to the SNAP benefits. Food refines is currently going on, so use that program if you need it. Caitlin wanted to report that a new student organization has been approved. The Shocker Leadership Council was established on October 31st. It's a new organization in Wichita State dedicated to helping students lead, connect, and stay in Wichita. Their mission is to develop student leaders through hands-on experience, professional networking, and real partnerships with the city businesses and nonprofit community. As we prepare for the general election in the spring semester, we are working to finalize appointments to the Elections Commission, and we'll be announcing those next week at Senate. And then just a couple of things for the heads up for the future. The student government offices will close starting on Tuesday, November 25th for Thanksgiving break. And then when the Senate goes on recess on December 3rd, the offices will close that Friday until January when we reopen. Additionally, pursuant to my role as the central office, I'm charged with reporting to the Senate of any vacancies within official membership of the student government. Earlier this week, the Senate clerk submitted a notice relating to Fine Arts Senator Christian Seals. Senator Seals has reached the limit of absences allowed for members of the Senate, and this seat is now formally vacant and will stand appointment by the Speaker. And then just in some other non-student government news, spring registration starts November 10th. So if you have not prepared to register for classes for the spring semester, please make sure that you do that. And as a reminder to be sure that you are keeping your Wednesdays open from 5:30 to 9:30 for Senate. And that is my report.
Thank you. Are there any questions for the central office? Senator Mallard?
Have we informed the student body that we have gotten more food for the Shock Sport Locker?
Great question. Because the locker is closed this week for Food for Fines, when we reopen it on Monday, we'll put out some messaging out for folks to utilize that as well.
Are there any further questions for the central office?
Unless you have something else to add to that.
We didn't do this super officially, but we did put out a statement on the Wong Wen administration Instagram letting students know, and then it was collaborated with the SGA official Instagram. So there is at least some form of communication out, but we'll do a more campus-wide communication just with chakra blasts and things like that in the future.
Are there any more questions for the central office? Seeing none, thank you. We will now go into section 10, the consent agenda. So on the consent agenda, we are approving the September 24th, October 1st, and October 8th meeting minutes. Are there any objections to the consent agenda? Seeing no objections, agenda is adopted as such. We will now move into section 11, pending business. There is none. We'll now move into section 12, new business. There is none. And before we move into section 13, adjournment, I would also like to reemphasize that for next week's agenda, it will be a pretty heavy agenda, so please be prepared for that within your schedules as well. But with that, we will now move into section 13, adjournment. The Student Government Association Student Senate will stay on adjournment until Wednesday, November 12th at 7:30 p.m. I adjourn this meeting at 7:51 p.m.